Yeah, so in the end, Muni Light saved the city hundreds of millions of dollars and kind of cemented the rest of your political career, which took you to the state senate and ultimately to Congress. What what lessons did you take from that debacle and, living in danger and fighting these entrenched interests to the rest of your career?
Never, never give up and never give in. Muni Light had been sold. I got involved and turned it around, saved the system, stopped the private utility from forcing the sale, stopped a bank that told me on December 15, 1978, they were going to renew the city's credit on loans I hadn't even taken out unless I agreed to sell Munilight to the private utility, which was their banking partner. I said no. They put the city of Cleveland into default. If you believe in something, you take a stand. You don't give up. You don't give in. And to me, public service means that you might be called upon at one point or another to put it all on the line, put your very career on the line. I was. I didn't know, by the way, after I left City Hall in 1979, that I'd ever have a political career again because I was getting smeared as a guy that, quote, bankrupted, unquote, the city of Cleveland. None of that was true, but it didn't matter because people knew what they were told in the newspapers, and the newspapers and the rest of the media at that time in Cleveland, they were all in the tank for the private utility company and for the bank. They're all going along with this idea of selling Muni Light. The city was gaslighted. I mean, the story is a psychological thriller as well because it shows how the external reality that we all know can be so manipulated that people don't know which end is up. I know, and I just was steadfast. I mean, the lessons learned. The reader may come up with different lessons, but the lesson I took away: never give up and never give in.
So politics takes a lot of patience, right? So you did state politics and then ultimately you went to Congress. How did you have the patience to deal with, uphill battles constantly? It seems like every day in politics is compromise, agreement. It's not an easy profession.
Well, life is very creative. I mean, I take a very creative approach to every day. I don't spend my time worrying about what might happen. I spend my time trying to make things happen. And so, whether it was the state senate or the U.S. House, I look at the things creatively, and I believe in getting involved. I'm not somebody that sits back and watches. I'm a participant. And on the floor of the House, there's a dynamic there. It's like a big high school in some ways, but there's a dynamic, almost a physical emotion, the movement of physical forces that you can feel when you're down there when there's an issue at stake. And to be involved, to talk to the people who are making the decisions as you are, you find that there are times when you can insert yourself into a debate and change the outcome. That's what makes it so exciting. That's why I love being on the floor of the House, because that's where things can happen. And so I never got frustrated. I never felt impatient for anything. I was just grateful to have a chance to represent the people and have a chance to enter into the decision making and the debates, and to occasionally have an opportunity to try to change the outcome. I mean, it's such a blessing to have that. And so I felt very blessed to be there, particularly since, when I left City Hall in Cleveland, I no one would take bets that I'd have a career again.